What's good? What's good? What's good, my G's? It's your boy Snow Nasty.
And I'm Ramon. Ramon Clean.
Ramon Clean.
Ramon Clean.
Ask the Gamerz video. So, for you guys new to the channel, just start asking your questions here. We answer them in the next video. Go ahead. As I ramble a bit, start asking some questions. And right now, we're gonna answer the questions from the last videos. And this first one is from King Loso. It's actually directed towards you because I already ran my mouth about this months ago and ever since it was announced.
What you talking about?
Loso said, I know Snow talked about this before, but how does RZA feel about the large installs on the PS4? Also, what games will you be picking up on launch? And I assume he means the Xbox One as well.
Why are you trying to play me? I can't order PlayStation?
Answer the question.
I really didn't care about them, to tell you the truth. I thought they were a non-issue until I had to install. So I had to install 3 games. These shits are wild. I mean, the games I got to launch were Battlefield, Forza, and I guess Killer Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't purchase a physical copy. I downloaded them.
Right.
These shits took like an hour each in their entirety.
Yep.
So I think Forza was ready to play within like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I could play the campaign.
Right.
And then the rest of it started coming down. It took about an hour to finish. Battlefield, same deal. The campaign came down in about 15 minutes and then the rest. But it was like, okay. And you saw my internet speed. I got like 100 down. Like not even like exactly. I got 100 down.
Like 100 down, yeah.
And it was rough. I was like, oh, this is a problem.
Yeah.
I know most people attack it from the size perspective, like,
right.
Oh, we only got a 500. That's a problem too.
Right.
After doing this is a problem too.
Yeah.
But I think this is it'll get better.
Yeah.
Once we go on and the drives get cheaper, and then people's internet connections come from the other end and make it faster. But I think the key here is, like we said, we've been saying they needed terabyte drives on these things. And I fully, wholeheartedly believe that they had them, but they had to meet a price point.
Right.
And they had to meet a margin.
Yeah, right.
So,
because I've seen the margin on some of these consoles.
Yeah.
And they just as bad as the PSP margins, if you guys didn't know about that.
Yeah, there's not...
Like, PSP margins was $5.
It took a while. I mean, Xbox 360 was in the red for like 4 years.
Right.
And I think Sony just climbed in the green like, 2 years ago? It took a while. So, I mean, I'll wait.
Alright.
But the way I see it is the hour it took to install, the 15 minutes before I get to play,
right.
I was in my house. I didn't have to go out to GameStop to hear bullshit. So
right.
It was worth it for me.
Alright. Next question. This one comes from Awesome is JL. How do you guys feel about the resolution wars and how does it influence your take on each console?
The resolution? Oh.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
PlayStation 3 was supposedly 1080, but most of the games came out 720. Naughty Dog made some of the best 720 games known to fucking man. Other developers too. If you played games on PlayStation 3, most people don't even know that the games are running on 720, except for Call of Duty, which runs on 1080. It was never an issue for me. I think people were just looking for bait. I will say this though. I've heard of 900p on something random, not dealing with TV, and Xbox One has coined 900p in between 720 and 1080.
I think it's one game.
It's going to be more to follow.
You think so? I think that was a Crytek thing.
I think it's going to be more to follow.
The hell if I don't give a shit.
And the upscaling, which does happen on a lot of these games anyway, it's a non-issue. It's just flame wars. Most people that's talking about it, they don't recognize the difference between 720 and 1080 anyway.
And they're going to go and buy a 4K TV and watch a Blu-ray. What do you think that's going to do?
Right. It ain't going to be 4K.
It ain't going to be downscaling people.
Right.
So.
Shout out to Netflix too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't care. I think it's a stupid thing. Whatever. And I'm coming from the PlayStation side, so now all of our stuff is supposed to be 1080. I don't care.
I really didn't give a crap when the Xbox had 1080 in the PlayStation. I didn't even know till you told me the other day that the PlayStation didn't have all 1080. Not a big deal.
It's very rare. You can look it up. There's like a site or a community dedicated to games that's 1080p on PlayStation.
That's terrible. What do these people do with their time?
Son, there's something for everyone, son.
God damn.
Alright, so another question which looking like close to it. Lance Turner said the internet is flipping out over Xbox only being able to run 720 on some of its games versus the ones running on 1080p on the PS4. Is it really that big of a deal? If the game looks just as good, can most people tell the difference? Yeah, so in my last thing, I'm gonna keep this short. The last answer I just gave, that answers this one too. People really, the general public cannot really tell. It's a non-issue.
The general public knows nothing. And I learned that it's not the general public, it's gamers too.
Right.
Because I accredited gamers to that. Like, now we're a tech savvy crowd.
Right.
We do our research and we do this and we do. No, the fuck we don't.
Right.
So carry on.
Snow is a Halo hater, and why does he hate when we tag him in Google Plus comments, knowing he can't reply? We're just gonna keep moving.
Oh man.
Alright, so Joe Stinning, do you think Xbox will follow the handheld craze around Sony and develop a similar system but use the cloud and make a better version which works outside your home network, which at the moment Sony has confirmed it works at home on your private network but not outside your network? I say no, there's no money in handhelds. Microsoft has a lot more to handle with this, and the Xbox itself, and still pushing Windows 8. So they got their hands full. Smart Glass is going to make its way. Right, yeah. It's going to be able to handle some stuff. Maybe those arcade games that's going to be on live coming out soon, which doesn't need too many buttons,
right,
will probably make its way to Smart Glass when you're outside of your network, because it can verify your device. So it won't matter if you're on your private network or not.
The potential is there though. Like, if you look at something like this, the Dell Venue 8 Pro, it's definitely more powerful than a PS Vita, but it's the same price. It's a different form factor.
Right.
So getting DirectX to run on this,
but it won't be that won't be the problem. The problem is the controls.
Right, the control. Right, you got to optimize it for touch, but there's definitely potential there.
Right.
But I don't think it's in their scope right now.
I would say if you've seen games like Resogun, which Resogun is like all of like 3 or 4 buttons, if I'm not mistaken.
But I don't know if that analog is so key to that experience though.
Yeah, I know, but
I don't know if they can pull it off.
Right, but like I feel like that Stardust games that require it's not like you got to do combinations and stuff. Like I see people playing Street Fighter on their iPhone.
Don't you want to slap that shit out their hand?
I do, but they be very efficient at it for some reason. So whatever. I don't think they'll get involved.
Or Commander mode that doesn't work on my Windows laptop.
We saving that for another video. We're saving that for another video. Watch out for that video. As much as we love Battlefield, we're about to go in.
Next question.
Sarah Olden. If I'm not mistaken, I think she asked us about the Zoo Tycoon ones too. We'll get back to that. What do you think about the Xbox One features now that they showed them being used in the Xbox One demo on the Xbox YouTube channel? So, this is before the launch.
Flood. Yeah.
And now that we've seen it and actually got our hands on it, same experience.
Yeah. I think that to me was the curiosity part, because everything looks good on stage.
Yes.
But when you get it home, what does it look like?
Yes.
And I mean, we can take Kinect, we can remove Kinect for a little bit, but the features, the multitasking, the switching, all is advertised.
No, I didn't see no lag. I didn't see no stutter.
Kinect is still a little temperamental right now.
Right.
But I think that's just the voice technology, period.
I'd say this, me coming from the other side and being fair, exactly what we've seen in all the videos, the staged ones, the concept videos, the E3 videos, the Tokyo Game Show videos, even the stuff like leading up to the Xbox One launch, minus the Kinect stuff. Everything worked as spec.
Yeah.
Now, there is some little smoke and mirrors there where not everything snaps.
Right. Just some nuances, like Skype Skype will snap, but it won't work. You can't Skype while you play a game. What else? One or two other things don't snap. Like I don't think Netflix snaps while you play a game.
YouTube doesn't snap.
Yeah, YouTube snaps. YouTube snaps.
Okay.
But there's a few things and stipulations to why it don't, and they say they'll address it later. So
right. So it just through all the demos, we were led to believe that everything snapped.
Right. Everything does not snap.
I would say everything as of right now, and the keyword is as of right now, it doesn't snap.
Right.
And I think they did a good job of delivering the concept to the actual consumers. So
it reminds me of Windows 8. I remember when I first saw the concept video they did of Windows 8.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what?
Right.
Look how they drag it in. Like you start to yo, this is crazy. Like it'll never be like this.
Right.
And they came out and it was exactly like that.
Yeah. So it's a good job. They did a great job.
Yeah, they delivered. Good stuff.
Next question.
Yeah.
All right. This one comes from Joey D. Shout out to Joey D. Like the PS3 launch versus the 360, it appears Sony software on day one plus download is only half-baked when compared to what Microsoft offers. Do you think Microsoft's way of navigating multiple apps, voice commands, Connect upgrade, and TV integrations, if they run as well as the videos we have seen online, will change the gamer's mind over Sony's offering of better resolutions on some games?
That's a loaded question.
It's a loaded question.
There's three different things in there.
I would say from the terms of the user interface of navigating around multiple apps, I still don't think that that's enough if we're talking about gamers to pull gamers out of that mindset to do that. Because
you have to if we zoom out, who are these consoles for? And I hate to say it like that, but
right.
We over exaggerate so everyone understands.
Right.
This one is all games, the PlayStation. This one is a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of games. I don't even want to say it. It's games and entertainment.
Right.
So
although the PS4 does have some.
Right. Like they're really similar.
Right.
So I don't feel like people who are avidly
mm-hmm.
I'm getting the PlayStation is because they know the IPs that are coming. They know there's an Uncharted coming.
Mm-hmm.
They know about Drive Club.
Mm-hmm.
They know about that's the games that they want.
Right.
And then there's people that are gonna get an Xbox because it looks pretty. Not the box itself, but
right.
They like the interface. They like the snapping TV shit. And then they know, okay, well, I can get Forza over here.
Right.
I can get Halo, Gears of War.
Right.
I don't think it'll change. You know what I think it does more than anything? It gives people a 2-year purchase from here on out. Where next year or year after they say, let me go get this Xbox. Or let me go get the PlayStation.
Right, I got one. Let me get the other one.
I think that's what it'll do. But day one, and you alluded to that, it doesn't, even though Microsoft had the stronger showing, it doesn't matter. Like, there's going to be a period of time where Microsoft is sitting still and Sony's cranking out IPs. It doesn't matter. It's they can't always be on the same wavelength. They're two different products, two different companies. So.
And as we answered a little earlier with Sarah's question, the demos that Xbox showed for the UI and the snaps and all that does run exactly as they spec'd it out. Mm-hmm. The issue comes to it's not an issue. That's too high. The small little quirkiness to it, I guess I could say, is just, some of the Connect features with the voice. But it's so minuscule that it's not an issue.
But it's not, let me not say,
I hate saying it. I don't want to say it's an issue. Like,
it's not an issue, but it's not consistent. Because my Connect listens to me about 80% of the time.
Right.
And I think people are really, they clue into this Connect thing because it's so fascinating that it works. And then when it doesn't work, it's like, yo, man, Xbox!
Right.
It's like a relationship. Like, your girl will tell you when you do wrong, but the 20 things you do right, you'll never hear about.
Right. And the TV integration thing is still cool, but again...
I haven't done it. I don't plan on doing it.
Because he's a gamer. And that's the stuff that's like... And he does watch TV. So it's like, okay, I don't know if it'll sway. Maybe a consumer.
A consumer.
Maybe an older consumer who's going to put this in the living room. Maybe it's the father who got kids that got the one system for the house.
Who said that? Was it the Rev 3 guys? I was watching a video the other day. Mm-hmm. Or IGN staff. One of them said, I'm going to purchase the Xbox because I have kids now.
That's I think GameStop dude said it.
Yes, it was GameStop dude.
GameSpot, sorry.
GameSpot, Killzone. What was the other one we do? Grand Theft Auto.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, it made sense. It made sense. So, again, I don't think it'll change over the resolution in some games. I think it's going to come down to preference.
That's a technical issue.
And again,
underneath.
and again, I really do think this is a repeat of the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis era, where by the end of this thing, you should have both. Because there might be a Contra on one console and a Contra on the next, and they won't be the same Contra.
Yeah.
They'll have different characters, different speeds, different everything, and then if you can get your experience out of both from a gamer point of view, all those bells and whistles of multitasking, resolutions, all these little things won't matter.
And I think because these things will last 8 years, there's no reason not to own both. You get what I mean? Like, if $400 is not in your budget this year because you bought an Xbox, there's no reason it can't be in your budget next year or the year after.
A year and a half. Next Christmas.
You get what I'm saying? So
next Christmas.
And then...
Revision 2.
Or, yeah, when they slim it down, because God knows the thing's huge. Now...
The Xbox One is huge.
The Xbox One is huge. The other part of it that very few people talk about is these consoles are different. The Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 are very different from what they were when they first came out.
Yes. And I'll give extreme credit for the visionary of Microsoft being PC dudes, of being able to change from damn orange blades to tiles, live tiles, basically, Metro.
Yeah.
Foresight right there. The XMB was locked across all their product lines, not just PlayStation 3, but if you had a DVD player, a Blu-ray player,
it was familiar.
If you had their phone, if you had their camera, like everything was running off that XMB.
Made sense.
So they had to be uniform with that. Microsoft Xbox, which is supposed to be its own thing, was like, man, we do what we want.
It was dope, but I just feel like it's exciting to see the direction that they're both going to take, which are very two different directions, and we don't know yet. We'll start to figure it out in like another 2 years.
Yeah.
Which direction each is going as they grow.
Right.
And I feel like if the people who are making noise about this one resolution, this one multitasking, this one games on launch, the people who are making that noise should be the very same people who should own both. Because there's going to be things happening on both that as a gamer, you want or need to be a part of, or else you're just running your fucking mouth on the internet.
Right, and if you didn't make a decision on the current gen based off resolution, shut the fuck up. And if you really care about, if a person really cares about resolution, at the end of the day, we can stop all this conversation. Those people can stop this argument and just go buy a PC.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. Now, okay, you're gonna lose exclusive like Halo and Forza,
you got your
Uncharted,
that's what you care
and
about,
God of War. Again, reasons to own both. You get what I'm saying? I ain't say no BS games like that.
Yeah.
These games are worth buying consoles for.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you can, get them both. And I don't want to hear no BS, because what I tell you in the car on the way here. Somebody asked me, "Oh, you got a PS4? You can afford a PS4?" My dude, when they announced the PS4, $50 per month.
Yeah.
Because I knew I would have to get it for this channel. $50 per month. I was able to stash.
I mean,
in some months I came a little short. So don't talk to me about price.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about 400 and 500, don't talk to me about price.
There really is. But I don't say that because people always get offended.
No,
you can't tell me about my money. It's like, what? If
you can't. You think my money that long?
It's just
another perspective. Just again with that argument. Okay, when the Sega Saturn and the PS1 were running wild alongside that other system, Nintendo 64. Was it Nintendo 64? I think it was, right?
The cartridge machine.
I got the gift of Sega Saturn.
Right.
That was the gift. I had a PS1. Nobody bought that for me. I had to get that myself. I want you to think about that. And I was a teen when that happened. So don't talk to me about price.
Yeah. very passionate about your pricing, sir.
Son, don't talk. If this something you want, forget about the game stuff. If this something you want, you will figure it out.
You'll find a way to get it. Very true.
You will figure it out. So I don't want to hear that. And again, this is like the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis thing. Yo, if you played one and you refuse to play the other, shame on you. Get them both. They both gonna have some stuff on there. Forget about the user experience and the resolutions. They both gonna have some dope games because the cycle is coming around. We've been dealing with stories for the last 7 to 8 years. Gameplay is back.
Yeah.
Functionality and gameplay is back. So you better get on it. Because the Sega Genesis was the last time where we was actually raw gameplay. Just gameplay. No graphics, gameplay.
Trying to play Halo?
We're not. That's the exception.
I feel like he's trying to play Halo.
That's an exception, son. Like, they had it all.
Okay.
Uncharted has it all.
Yes, it does.
A lot of the games right now are focused on stories that they can't deliver. Speaking of stories, a game that people didn't play, Spec Ops: The Line.
I don't
You
know
know why
that is.
You know why I didn't play? There was no multiplayer that spoke bounds.
No multiplayer. Shouldn't be played.
It had multiplayer.
Oh, my bad.
Right. Binary domain.
Oh man, sir, what is the next question?
That is the last question.
That was the last question?
That's why I stretched it out, yeah. You get a short episode this week, everybody. Leave questions below.
Oh man, we need some questions or you will feel the price rant.
Thank you for everybody that subscribed. Thank you for everybody who leaves comments. Shout out to everybody who left comments or questions in the last video and all our videos in general. And again, Sarah Olden, I think that was you. Zoo Tycoon is a disappointment. I thought they would have did better with that. I didn't see that curveball coming. So, that's it.
Holla, man.
Ignorant Gamers. Subscribe, like, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. Your life. We out here.
Peace.
Peace.